Justin Simmons has made it clear he wants to play for a contender. Meanwhile, Terry McLaurin is deep in contract turmoil. Washington fans, buckle up. Smash that like and subscribe to Commanders HQ, where we bring you the inside story on every move that matters in burgundy and gold. Today, it's about two high-stakes situations heading into training camp. When former Broncos and Falcons safety Justin Simmons says he's targeting winning teams, that's a signal worth hearing. In a recent interview with the Denver Post, Simmons said he's being strategic and patient about where he lands next. The next 2 years, a year, whatever it is, but a contender is number one on the list right now. That's a bold statement, and with Washington emerging from playoff surprises into legitimate NFC contenders, this may be exactly the kind of destination Simmons is targeting. If Adam Peters makes a call, Simmons might actually pick the Commanders over familiar options like Atlanta. Let's be real, Washington may have performed above expectations in 2024, but their secondary had serious questions. PFF ranked it 28th entering this offseason. They've added key pieces, Marshawn Lattimore, Trey Amos, Jonathan Jones, and returns like Quan Martin, Mike Sandersteele, Tyler Owens, and Will Harris give them options. Still, the unit lacks a proven veteran leader with ball-hawking pedigree. Justin Simmons would instantly upgrade that group. Multiple Pro Bowls, consistently high in interceptions, well-versed across the back end, natural leader and locker room guy. If Justin Simmons is open and the Commanders still feel shaky in camp, this move becomes more than tempting, it becomes necessary. On the flip side, Terry McLaurin is quietly slipping into a dangerous situation. He's entering his final year on a deal paying around $22 million per year, despite being one of the league's most consistent receivers for 5 seasons running. According to The Athletic's Mike Jones, McLaurin could hold out or hold in if there's no extension before July 22 when camp officially opens. Make no mistake, he has a strong case. McLaurin earned wide receiver 1 money, and right now, the two sides seem worlds apart. NFL Network's James Palmer confirmed what fans feared. Dan has remained in contact with Mac, but no traction on a deal. The two sides have made little to no headway. Add NFL's ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, who reported McLaurin is not happy with how negotiations are going, and that disconnect could fuel trade rumors fast. This is serious, a potential holdout ahead of training camp, just when team chemistry and momentum are most critical. One trade rumor gaining traction, the Tennessee Titans could be potential suitors. They already signed Calvin Ridley and are gearing up to help rookie Cam Ward succeed. According to Sports Illustrated, McLaurin would instantly raise their floor as a proven wide receiver 1. Could Peters really trade the team's best wideout? That remains to be seen. But if negotiations remain stalled, the idea becomes more real by the day. Here's the real irony. Both Justin Simmons and Terry McLaurin could be critical to Washington's success, but only if both are aligned. Imagine Simmons joining the secondary as a stabilizing veteran presence and McLaurin locking down his receiver role with a proper contract. That's the kind of balance this team needs. If both situations remain unresolved, if McLaurin's contract drags into camp or Simmons signs elsewhere, Washington could look like a contender headed back to rebuild before they even start the season. The Washington Commanders are no longer rebuilding. After a shocking run to the NFC Championship game in 2024, they're now being viewed as a legitimate contender in the NFC. Jaden Daniels is entering year 2 with Cliff Kingsbury, Terry McLaurin and Deebo Samuel headline a deep receiver room, Laramie Tunsil leads a retooled offensive line, and the secondary just got younger, faster, and more aggressive. But despite all of that, there's one hole that stands out like a sore thumb: edge rusher. This is a defense built to win now. Joe Witt Jr.'s system demands pressure from the front 4, and while the interior is set, the Commanders still lack a true game wrecker off the edge. CBS Sports' Josh Edwards nailed it in a recent column. The Commanders have a lot of defensive ends who will be firm at the point of attack, but they lack any and all explosiveness off the edge. And he's right. After Dante Fowler Jr. left for the Cowboys in free agency, the Commanders haven't made a real move to replace his presence. They've added interior help, they reshuffled the linebacker unit, but they haven't signed a proven edge threat who can consistently win on third downs. Let's be clear, sacks aren't everything, but in today's NFL, you need someone who can close out drives. Right now, Washington doesn't have that guy. Believe it or not, there are still quality veterans out there. Zadarius Smith, still effective with double-digit sacks in 2023 and a perfect locker room fit. Jadeveon Clowney, a proven run defender who revitalized his career in Baltimore. Yannick Ngakoue, underrated pass rusher with 8 straight seasons of at least 8 sacks before 2024. Carl Wasson, coming off injuries but has high upside burst and motor. Adam Peters has built a reputation as a GM who waits for the right deal. But with training camp starting July 22, time is short on that clock. A 1-year rental makes too much sense. A veteran presence who can line up opposite of the power-heavy rotation already in place would round out the front 7 beautifully. Let's be honest, the current edge options aren't bad, but they aren't great either. KJ Henry showed flashes in his rookie season, but is still raw. Andre Jones Jr. is a developmental piece who may need more time. Cleveland Farrell was signed as a rotational guy, but isn't the edge bender type this defense needs. Javon Jean-Baptiste, an intriguing UDFA out of Notre Dame, turned heads in OTAs, but is far from a sure thing. There's potential, sure, but no proven game changer. If the Commanders go into Week 1 with this edge group, they're banking on growth and health. That's a huge risk for a team trying to win now. Speaking of the defensive front, one name who might not even make it to Week 1? Eddie Goldman. The Commanders brought him in as a big-bodied run stuffer, 6'4", 335 pounds. But his resume is spotty. Retired after 2021, missed 2 full seasons, inconsistent in 2024 with Atlanta. He's fighting for a spot behind Deron Payne, Javon Kinlaw, and rookie Jonathan Newton. And with Sheldon Day, Carl Davis Jr., and Jalen Holmes all pushing hard, Goldman could be one of the first odd men out. This is the new Adam Peters standard: produce or be replaced. It doesn't matter what you did in 2019, it's about who you are today. Goldman has to prove he still belongs, and training camp may be his final audition. With rookies reporting on July 18th and veterans July 22, here's what to watch for. Will Adam Peters make one final splash at edge rusher? Who stands out among the current pass rush group? Does Goldman earn a spot, or is he replaced by younger legs? This training camp is not just about development. It's about securing your place in a contender's rotation. Every year there's a surprise cut or a late signing that flips a position group. The Commanders might be one move away from shoring up the only major question mark on their defense. Commanders fans, it's time to pick a lane. Do you want Justin Simmons in DC, a veteran presence who fits the scheme perfectly? Do you trust Adam Peters to pay McLaurin wide receiver 1 money and keep the core of his offense intact? Or do you fear these situations could spiral and derail the organization again? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We read every single one. And if you want daily insider opinions, roster breakdowns, and training camp updates, make sure you hit subscribe to Commanders HQ, because this season, it's shaping up to be unforgettable.